Our leader and the guest I'm honored to invite today he brings with him a clear-eyed operational perspective into this conversation. He's got decades of experience in this sector, making him a timely voice for right now, for this moment in Saudi Arabia's transformation. He's the president of BWH Hotels, one of the world's most recognized global hospitality groups, encompassing brands like Best Western, World Hotels, and Shore Stay. Under his leadership, his company has significantly expanded its presence and foothold and diversified its brand portfolio to meet the evolving guest expectations. Please welcome Ron Pohl. And I was about to cause a scandal. Had I not looked behind me, I was about to sit down, and the chair was not behind me. Literally, it just moved to the left. Welcome to the stage. Ron, you bring such a wealth of experience from all over the world. And being in Saudi Arabia, which offers such a unique cultural, historical perspective, I'd love to hear your opinion on how the Saudi context plays in when it comes to the future of luxury in hospitality.
Of luxury and hospitality?
Yeah.
Our World Hotels brand is something that we acquired back in 2019, which plays in that segment. And certainly, as you see the outstanding properties throughout the kingdom, luxury is important and continues to grow in its importance around the world. It's interesting that while we think of luxury, I don't know that the demographics of luxury are always the same as what we think.
Exactly.
Surprisingly, there was a study out last year, McKinley and Company put it out, that 35% of luxury travelers today have a net worth of under $1 million. That's a different conversation, that's a different expectation, and it's certainly a different way that we have to learn to service those customers, because while they want the luxury experience, they're not always willing to pay for it in every segment of their stay or during their travel. So I think it is evolving throughout the world, and certainly here, as luxury hotels continue to be developed, we need to think about how we can help provide that level of service for the different customers.
That's exactly why I wanted to start with that question, because today's consumers, in multiple surveys, they say that they want something else out of luxury. They even think of luxury in different terms. They say they want more affordability with quality and service. But the question, I guess, here is how can mid and upscale hotels strike that balance between having high quality, what now is the norm for luxury, and affordability for today's travelers? And most of the time, in every survey I read, they emphasize more the experience than the, let's say, traditional concept of luxury.
No, you're exactly right. And I would say it's both personalization and hyper-personalization, that it isn't segment-oriented. You know, whether it's luxury, whether it's mid-scale, whether it's even in the economy segment, friendliness and knowing your customer isn't dictated by the rate they're paying or the hotel they've chose to stay at. So I think that it's first, obviously we just heard the importance of service, that reigns across all segments of the industry. But technology today and tomorrow plays an intricate role in that, and how we leverage the technology to understand the customer's experience, and mostly past experience. We just heard a reference from Amazon. They know everything about us when we shop. And they set the expectation for...
It's scary, isn't it?
It is. They tell me when I'm supposed to order something. So
I was just going to say, do you notice how scary it is when you see your suggested items is almost 100% what you actually want?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So if we think about that in terms of what the hospitality industry needs to evolve and change to, is we know a lot of that information about our customers today. We've associated it mostly with the loyalty program, so that's why they play such an integral role in the level of the guest experience. We collect that data, but we rarely use it beyond, hey, we know that we've, welcome back. Well, that's not anything significant, that we know that they stayed with us before. So I guess my point with that is that we need to leverage technology to enable our staff to provide a more personalized experience, and that can be achieved regardless of the segment that the customer is traveling in.
So I know in most questions, there is no recipe. It's not copy-paste. Every establishment has a different strategy that might work for one place and not work for another. But there are some core principles, I suppose, that you may see are necessary to have a mid-scale brand, grow in a culturally diverse and high-growth region. What would you say are these, non-negotiables that should be there for a mid-scale establishment?
Well, first and foremost, location, location, location. We have to...
Real estate, right?
That's right. Well, and you got to be at the right place. But the partners you choose to do business with are critically important. And we're very protective of that because when a hotel joins our organization, they've got our 100% commitment that we're going to help them be successful. And so, we have customers in our hotels every day, and then we have owners and operators of those hotels, and how do we provide the support to make them successful? So it's not about how many hotels we can develop in a market. It's developing hotels with the right developer and owner, and then with connecting that then to the right brand. We have 18 brands across the organization now. You need to have the right one in that market to leverage the guest experience and the growth. So it is a delicate balance, but I would tell you that as much as we talk about luxury and growth and development, again, the mid-scale, upper mid-scale are very much connected to luxury as well. Because if you think about, I go back to the loyalty program, it's very important within the industry, and most of the mid-scale guests and upper mid-scale guests use those loyalty points to then stay in a luxury hotel. And it's, luxury hotel is fine when you're filling it without having that need for the loyalty redemption, but that's not often the case. That guest plays an intricate role in experiencing that level of luxury that they may not have before, but then they may, again, select that hotel on a future stay even without using the redemption. So they're all very interconnected in how the segments intertwine.
So if we flip the lens a little bit and maybe go to the investor, you speak with investors on regular basis, you know how they think and obviously what they want. What do you think makes mid-scale establishments attractive to investors in today's consumer world?
Well, the financial investment up front is significantly less. Your construction costs of a mid-scale or upper mid-scale property, depending on the market, could be, $100,000, $200,000 a key. Well, that, makes a 100-room property $10 to $20 million for the building itself. That's relatively affordable. And then you look at the simplicity of the operations. They may have limited food and beverage. Food and beverage is costly and sometimes expensive. But when you truly look at it and look at the flow from rooms revenue through the operation and the NOI, it's a highly profitable proposition. It's quick to market, and then ROI is again very short term in a lot of circumstances, especially in developing markets like this one.
So I know we spoke a lot about the return or the growth and all the potential in the sector, and that makes it very attractive. But I do, in the last minute and 30, I'd like you to have and maybe summarize what you think could be the biggest blind spots or biggest risks, let's say, that could be overlooked for any investor looking to invest in a mid or upper scale?
Well, not joining us would be the biggest blind spot.
That's the biggest risk.
No, again, you have to do your homework to make sure that you have the right hotel, the right size, and the right location with the right brand. But every city, every market needs mid-scale and upper mid-scale. Whether it's a highway location, whether it's a destination, whether it's a secondary, a tertiary market. If you look at the mix of business around the world, you'll see, as many or twice as many mid-scale or upper mid-scale properties as you will upper upscale and luxury properties. So there is demand for that. And as we look across many of the regions and many that support Saudi Arabia, the middle class is a growing class in China, in India, in Indonesia. Those people want to travel, will travel to the kingdom, and will look for accommodations that are more affordable for them.
I don't want you to get off stage without this 10 seconds. So, in one word, what do you think? As a visitor to Saudi Arabia, every time you visit, how many times have you visited?
This is my first time.
Is it your first time?
This is my first time.
Really? I did not expect that. So then if this is your first time, maybe you would tell me one thing that caught your attention that you didn't expect visiting Saudi Arabia, considering it's your first time.
Well, I'm sure most people would say the weather, but I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, so I'm from a desert.
You're used to it.
Thank you for the warm welcome that I got here. I would say that this was not surprising, but something that certainly I sensed immediately, and that was the friendliness of the people.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what the hospitality business is all about. And if you have that basis to start from, you can be extremely successful in it. It's cultures where that's not natural that it becomes more difficult.
Have you had a date yet? The fruit.
Are you asking me out?
Date.
No.
Oh, God, no.
Yes,
No.
I have. They're very good.
Actual date.
Yes, I have. Thank you.
He just had to make the pun. All right. Okay. If you haven't had a date, you should have one stuffed with almond or orange peel. Thank you so much. That was Ron Pohl giving us his fabulous perspective on the industry and what makes it different. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's a first.